Imagine turning your crypto assets into a passive income stream on one of the fastest growing layer 2 chains. Today we're diving into the world of yield farming on Base, where opportunities are skyrocketing thanks to Coinbase's backing. So stay tuned to learn how you can maximize your gains and learn more about the most profitable yield farming protocols right now on Base chain. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're diving into one of the most bullish layer 2 chains out there, Base, and if you never heard about it, you probably are a newcomer to the crypto space. In just 1 year, Base has seen tremendous growth, largely thanks to Coinbase, let's face it. So it's no surprise to see Base ranking high on DeFi Llama's TVL charts. Right now you can see that they're ranking 6th, and this is ordered by TVL, so they have over 2 billions right now in TVL. There's a lot of volume also ongoing on Base. For the past 24 hours, we have close to $830 million in volume. And if we sort the rankings here by 24-hour volume, Base climbs the ranks and its top 3 only surpassed by Ethereum and Solana. There's also plenty active addresses with over 2 million on the past 24 hours. Which again, if we rank by addresses active for the past 24 hours, Base again is on the top 3. All these metrics do show us that this is one of the most active blockchains out there, so definitely there's going to be very profitable yield farm opportunities. So let's see how we can, as retail users, capitalize on that potential. That's exactly what we will explore on today's video. Now, we are going to take a look at the best protocols for yield farming on Base, but first, I want to check the TVL and see how it has been performing for the past year and 2-3 months. And as you can see, there's no major dips overall, and that only goes to show of how bullish this chain has been, and it even gives more strength to the narrative that it already outperformed in TVL at least, but also in other metrics, many of the other more established blockchains and even other Ethereum layer 2s. And right now we're pretty much sitting at an all-time high. Let's take a look at protocol rankings, and that will allow us also to identify opportunities and then set up those into a diversified portfolio with different risk levels. Now, ranking first, we have AERODROME with a TVL of $1.12 billion. If we zoom out and see the TVL of Base, which is 2.2 billion, a little over that, it shows us already that AERODROME itself, it has a TVL that accounts for more than half of the whole overall TVL for Base. And that makes AERODROME to be the liquidity hub on Base. And notice I didn't say a liquidity hub, but I really mean it's the liquidity hub on Base chain. And AERODROME doesn't operate like most other DEXs, where liquidity providers just earn a percentage of trading fees. Instead, liquidity providers here are rewarded with the native token of AERODROME, which is AERO. AERO right now has a token price of over $1. It's sitting at $1.14. And although it's an inflationary token, so there's no cap to its supply, there's still some mechanisms that the team did develop and implemented to burn the token, so there's not going to be all that much dilution in price due to that, at least in theory. But most of AERO's value comes from its potential to unlock liquidity pool trading fees for users who lock it. Looking at the volume action ongoing here on AERODROME, there's clearly a ramping up in volume. And of course, there's a ton of different pools here, overall 244 being tracked here on DeFi Llama with an average APY of 64%. Now, this is a very broad APY because there's going to be volatile token pairs, there's going to be stable token pairs. So for that reason, let's sort this out for the past 30 days average APY. I think that's already a good metric. I think we need to have a longer time frame as an average. So let's take a quick glance here at the most profitable pools right now on AERODROME. Now, these pools involve directly the AERO token. And right now on Base chain, there's no native token of the blockchain. Gas fees are paid with Ethereum. So this token right now is somewhat considered the unofficial token of the Base chain. And Coinbase has been backing Aerodrome because they understand that and also the importance overall for scaling up the blockchain. The deeper the on-chain liquidity, the more attractive it is for protocols to deploy, and also there will be more opportunities for users to yield farm. As the saying goes, money brings money, and Coinbase is a close partner to Aerodrome just because of that, and therefore there's many pools here that are being incentivized directly by Coinbase. And these 30-day average APYs for these couple first pools are just mind-blowing. I mean, 662% for wrapped Ethereum paired with Arrow and a stablecoin paired with Arrow. In the case it's USDC, it's also paying 446%. Although APY accounts for compounding the rewards often into the position, and that's where it differs from APR. On Aerodrome, like I said before, it works a bit different from most DEXs. So in order for users to start getting their liquidity pool rewards also in fees, they need to lock some Aero tokens into the protocol. They can lock them overall into a 4-year time frame, and in return they get V Aero. The longer locking period you have, the more voting power V-Arrow will give you, and when that happens, the more you can influence the distribution of Arrow tokens. So this is a tactic you can use in order to unlock higher rewards from Aerodrome's liquidity pools. Of course, there will be pros and cons to that, and while a user that does lock their Arrow tokens will have more skin in the game, the pro side is that they will get more rewards from the protocol, specifically also unlocking the liquidity pool's trading fees. While a user who doesn't lock their Arrow tokens, they will be able to accumulate into their own bag of Arrow, or straight away dump the tokens, sell them in the market, and start getting some revenue back from the risk that they are taking from deploying into a liquidity pool position. So for a better overall understanding, you can look at the people who lock Arrow as sort of VIPs of the protocol, and they will earn more compared to those who just provide liquidity and farm Arrow. Although Aerodrome has very rewarding opportunities and Base's success has been very much connected to it so far, let's not forget about Uniswap, the second biggest DEX and protocol also on Base, and they are a titan in DeFi overall. So there will also be definitely some very interesting opportunities when it comes to liquidity pools, especially if you want to diversify and don't get fully exposed to Aerodrome's ecosystem. So taking a look at the best pools of Uniswap on Base chain for the past 7 days volume, we'll have ranking first Ethereum paired with USDC. The volume to TVL ratio is 1.5, so it's a very interesting option, and this will be a pair that will have definitely a ton of volume over time. It will be one of the most reliable fee providers, and again, Aerodrome had a different mechanism for paying regular liquidity providers, but in here on Uniswap, as long as you deploy liquidity to a pool, you'll get rewarded with the fees. So this Ethereum USDC pool is definitely one that through time will perform very consistently. A closer look into this pool shows us that for the past year it has consistently been generating a volume over $200 million. So the whole volume for the past year that went through this specific pool on Uniswap has been very close to $12 billion. In my opinion, this makes it to be one of the most interesting options on the Base ecosystem in order to provide liquidity. Now let's take a quick look at Extra Finance, which is a leverage yield farming protocol. They have been one of the best performing protocols on Base, and overall Extra Finance has been consistently ranking on the top 10 protocols when it comes to TVL rankings. They offer leverage yield farming opportunities to users, so you can yield farm there, and if you want, you can use your deposit as collateral in order to borrow some funds, which will allow you to collect greater rewards. Though this comes, of course, with the risk of collateral loss. And since using leverage will definitely increase your risk by exposing you to market volatility even further, the Extra Finance team came up with this leverage setup template called the pseudo neutral. These will allow users to reduce risk by hedging against their own positions. So basically, it will automatically open a long and a short position that cancel each other out. Extra finance also allows users to lend funds, which in a way it's a safer approach. And those funds will generate users' yield as other users come and borrow from those pools. Lending pools for assets like Aero and Ethereum often have high APYs, so it's definitely worth checking out these lending pools and see what options are there. For example, if you are providing liquidity on AERODROME and earning some Aero tokens, you can take those rewards and put them on the extra finance lending pools, and without any management necessities from your side, you'll get to earn some passive income on those Aero deposits. And of course, the same is true for other assets that you choose to lend with extra finance pools. Another very interesting protocol worth taking a look on Base ecosystem is Overnight Finance. They're ranking 8th in TVL. They have a docs team and plans to integrate real-world assets, which is itself a leading DeFi narrative for the near future. And what Overnight Finance does is that it offers users a way to yield on their assets through, again, delta-neutral strategies. They have their own algorithm, but it works the same way as with the delta neutral from Extra Finance. Basically, it's a way for users to hedge against their own positions. Wherever direction the market takes, both positions will cancel each other out, allowing users to focus on yield. For that reason, users can deposit funds with Overnight, and in return they will get a rebase token that automatically delivers yield to their wallets. So there's no need to claim anything because all is automated by Overnight Finance. The daily APY will fluctuate depending on which chain we're looking at, and also depending on the day. This is something that it's natural. But currently on Base it's 8.16%, but overall the daily APY here on Base has been very much close to 10%. So definitely worth taking a look at it in my opinion. They have plenty of stable coins, not only USD plus, they have USDC plus, USDT plus, also DAI, a stable coin from MakerDAO ecosystem. At some point they had ETH plus also, but these pools have been deprecated, so it's no longer an option. If you want to know more about each of the protocols that I mentioned, I will leave links down in the description because I did full-on in-depth reviews of how they work. So if you want to know more about those, feel free to check out my videos. These are all very reliable options when it comes to yield farm on Base, but I don't want to finish the video without mentioning a very interesting option, which is Alien Base. It's a DEX that has been performing very well. They were one of the earliest DEXs also on Base. At some point they were top 10, even top 5 I believe. Although while providing liquidity here, you'll not get the same amount of volumes that AERODROME or Uniswap offer. There's still the native token that you can farm here, which is ALB. It's currently sitting at 6 cents. And although their native token can be mistaken as a meme coin, Alien Base actually is a DEX that sets itself apart from all the others on Base, at least the ones which are more popular, just because they are going to be a platform dedicated for traders. Currently, they do seem to have found their place on the Base ecosystem. As you can see from the TVL performance, they went down but are bouncing back up, and this attests for how committed the community is. Nothing in DeFi can survive without a solid community behind, and that seems to be the case with Alien Base. I think there's definitely still a lot of potential to be explored as the protocol develops into the future. Let me know your comments about this or maybe even other yield farming opportunities on Base. I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.